Bramborough back with Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. France campaign, legendary difficulty. The German fleet was all but annihilated at the Battle off Yarmouth. But that was several months ago, and a peace treaty has inexplicably not been forthcoming from the Kaiser's foreign ministry. Evidently, Germany needs to be reminded once more of French naval dominance. The Admiralty dispatches 2 dreadnoughts, Corbeil and République, escorted by several cruisers, to bombard the port of Hamburg. The diplomatic communique is belatedly received, but the ships have already sailed. Hamburg will be struck, and its defenders will be sent to join their comrades on the ocean floor. Their blood will not be on our hands, but on those of the Kaiser and his minions. Well, we've advanced another month and made a little bit of a mistake. Recorded a whole episode, fought a couple battles, did a couple refits, and but I'd messed up my recording software in such a way that basically I recorded an entire episode with no sound. So, and I can't go back and play the battles, right? You know, you only get the one save. It's almost like Iron Man, right? So, just a quick summary of what has occurred off camera now is fought a couple convoy battles here in the Mediterranean against the Italian Navy, and prevailed in those battles. They were primarily against a few cruisers and a lot of destroyers, which has been kind of the trend so far in this Italian war. And you know, so we sank quite a few cruisers and destroyers. However, the Italian torpedo threat is real, and have lost a couple cruisers as well. And others have gone into the yards for repairs. I do think I did a better job than I did in the prior episode with torpedo avoidance, but there was a couple of times when they were just going to hit, and that's all there was to it. So that has occurred. And then I had talked in the previous episode about how destroyer gun mounts were rotating really slow. Went back and took a look at those. The older class, the more numerous class, the Triomphants, these were okay. They had electric turrets, and actually those I wasn't having as much problem with those. But on this Barrasque class, yeah, I had completely, they were just on the base default hydraulic turret, and it was the brass class that had caused me to make those comments. I have upgraded both classes of destroyer so that they both have the best turret mechanism, for rotation speed available, which is electro-hydraulic 1. And while I was in there, also upgraded both classes to Coincidence Rangefinder 3, which was very recently unlocked. So our destroyers have got a better gunnery situation now. In addition to that, I'll also mention on the Barrasque, they had been right up against their weight limit, so as a weight-saving measure to make room for that stuff, I converted those to turbine propulsion, which did in fact save quite a bit of weight. I mean, they're shown here as 1,100. That's max tonnage, and that dropped them over 1,000 tons. So about 10% of their total tonnage. Was expensive. This is now a $4.3 million destroyer compared to before, which was only $3 million. That's the bad news. The good news is it didn't really add any length. to the refit. It was still just a 1 month refit doing that. I also refit they were just 1 month refit for both classes, and I just refit all the destroyers at once. They all got rangefinders, they got their turret upgrades, and in the Baraska, they swapped out and got turbine propulsion in 1 month. And so they're all back operational again. There may have been a couple that were at sea or getting repaired. We'll have to keep an eye out for those 1s and 2s. But basically, the destroyers are upgraded. Okay. Several battles still for this month on August 1912. There's a pretty typical kind of cruiser-destroyer convoy battle here against Italy, but right next to it, we've got one that's actually pretty large that involves some battleships and quite a few cruisers on the Italian side. There's another fight down here off Sicily where there's an Italian battleship that our cruisers are going up against. And viewers might remember, we had sent a task force up into the North Sea just to prompt a battle and get Germany to actually make the peace request to end the Franco-German War, which has happened. They've actually already made the peace overture, which I did accept this or recommended acceptance this month. So we won't know until September if our government agrees and ends the war. Meanwhile, though, we have a port strike battle against the port of Hamburg, which involves some battleships on both sides, some Vergniaud-class Dreadnoughts looking to bombard Hamburg. There's quite a few German cruisers and a couple of their battleships contesting that. Let's go ahead and pop in and get that done. Okay, we've dropped down to X5 compression, so we've been spotted. Oh, over here. Looks like we've got some cruisers here. Using the light cruisers as kind of the scouters, since I don't have any destroyers in this group. That looks like a fine heading. For the battleships. These boys aren't smoking up. I think these are all heavy cruisers. Let's go ahead and let the light cruisers pop off torpedoes if they care to. Oh, well, these aren't upgraded. They only have a 1.2 kilometer range. Okay, CA-2409, burned up. Jocelyn Loop's taking some propulsion damage. Cruisers aren't very fast. They're older. So they aren't extricating themselves from this particularly quickly. What we got here? More cruisers. A lot of them. Let's go ahead and... I don't think she needs to disengage yet, but let's detach Chasseloup and have her maneuver independently. Well, they've sure got a lot of ships spotted at least. A lot of fire incoming on Chasseloup. Given all this, the amount of damage he's taken is actually not terrible. There's the battleships over here, probably. Mackinson. Flooded out. Yeah. There's the battleships here. Kaiser Barbarossa and BB-404, the two German battle wagons. Looks like Chasseloup pretty much has herself extricated there. Kaiser Barbarossa down. Shurian starting to take some fire. Let's have her smoke up. Unidentified ship down. Structural damage. Looks like there's one ship over here kind of chasing Chasseloup, sort of. Light cruiser. Don't want Chasseloup getting too far away from the rest of the fleet. Shurian's doing a fine job keeping all of these ships spotted. Let's make sure the Dreadnoughts keep all their batteries unmasked. Make a little turn here to port. BB404 is still afloat, as are CA227 and CA313. Descartes taking a little bit of fire there. I think she's fine. I want to get the main force kind of headed. I don't want... Oh, Chasseloup looks like she's in more... The Chasseloup, I think, is going to go down. Urian might be in a little bit of a pickle as well. I'll let them get too far separated from the main battle line. CA looks like the biggest threat to Jurian. Well, I don't think Jurian's taking much firing. Okay, unidentified ship floods out. Let's keep working on these cruisers, which are currently spotted. BB404 is somewhere back in here as well. CA313 flooded out. CA1162 next target. Boom. A nice big penetration for flooding. There's another couple pins for fire and flooding that. Yeah, that took care of her. CA225, next customer. And CA72. What's our heavy cruisers doing? Ah, they're all doing fine. Five seven. Well, apparently we have already beat up quite a bit already. Coming back into vision. A lot of 3.9 hits all the way through here as well. Secondaries are doing a lot of work. Okay, this might be some light cruisers in here. Oh, wow, yeah. 3.9s. Doing a lot. 17,000 damage so far. And obviously the Dreadnoughts' main guns are doing the majority of the damage to these cruisers. CA 325, living on borrowed time already. Okay, got some light cruisers spotted here. Looks like Jurian's decent shape there, position-wise. Three, two, five down. This might be the last heavy cruiser here. Might be. Here's 404 back here. Oh, no. Oh, okay, that heavy cruiser's sinking. Looks like we've got mainly light cruisers in here between us and 404. Let's at least get secondaries on this nearest light cruiser. Oh! Okay, they've got different classes of light cruisers. Some are torpedo capable, some are not. Flash fires. 276. With the predictable result. BB404 sinking. Garabin, let it out. Let's shoot at the one that is not in smoke. Let's do that. Okay. I think that leaves 2375 might be the last ship. I'm not sure. I think these are all sinking ships all through here, I think. Two, 375. And, yeah, she was the last one. Okay, well, we lost the Chasseloup out there in the scouting position. Regrettable. But I think that we have gone a very long way toward convincing the German diplomats that they made the right move in asking for peace. And we have further reduced, right here at the tail end of this war, we have further reduced the German Navy's manpower pool. 700 sailors here, 700 here, 430, 430, 430. So, I mean, without counting it all up, it's about 1,400-ish, about 2,800. So call it, 5,200? 4,200. Only 70 crew on these light cruisers? Okay. That seems really low. Because here's another light cruiser, you know, it's got a 240 crew. 70. 70. These ships really only have 70 crew. In any case, probably about 4,500 more sailors reduced from their recruit pool. Well, in addition to having sunk that German task force defending the port, we also wound up doing 34,000 damage to the port of Hamburg. Which I assume means that Hamburg has 34,000 less port capacity. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a little while since I've played Germany, several months. But that does look a little low for Hamburg. Something like 130,000 would seem more typical. Maybe. Yeah. All right. So the Germans are reinforced in their decision to ask for peace. But we've got a battle here. 3 of our heavy cruisers, and all 3 of these are Bouvines class at 8,500 tons. Now, we had put this task force out here into the East Med as a commerce protection measure, and they wind up raiding an Italian convoy over here, which is fine. I mean, the protect mode, that affects the monthly transport losses at the campaign level, and that's separate from battle generation. So, okay. However, following this battle, no matter what happens, they are going to be sent back to port. Which is why I've got another cruiser group over here. 3 CAs and 2 DDs coming over from Gibraltar in protect mode. Because they're going to be needed here after this task force is done with this battle. That said, looks like a pretty good one. They'll be going up against another Italian battleship, which is fairly large. It's 17,000 tons, over 10 million in cost. So this is a pre-Dreadnought for sure. But it's not a campaign start 1890 pre-Dreadnought. This is a little bit later haul. And just has a lot of 6.3-inch guns on it to supplement her 12.1 main armament. There we go. X5, and there we go. The battleship is spotted at some distance. Our weather conditions are about as good as they ever can be. It's day, it's clear, it's a light breeze, it's calm waves. And frankly, it's almost too good. Given that, you know, we've got a battleship here. I think we better go as fast as we can, I'm afraid. Kind of limit the accuracy of the incoming shells as much as we can. And let's go ahead and, take out this screen first. These are not they're not our Caymans, but they're not our best Rochambeaus either. These are our middle class of heavy cruisers, the Bouvines. What is this here? It is a cruiser. It is torpedo capable, but not a very good range. Let's go ahead and take Fenice out here. If we can. A detonation on Fenice. Fenice or just Fenice? Well, ex Fenice. Okay, what's our range on the 2.9s? Basically 5.5 kilometers. And we need to be at that. We need these secondaries hammering that battleship with HE to set fires and cause crew loss. Venezia Trionfante, which is pretty slow, 17.6 knot top speed, currently going 15 knots. That works in our favor. So let's go ahead and close. Once we get up to about 5 kilometers, I'll probably slow the cruisers back down for best accuracy at cruising speed. Right now we're reliant on 6.9s. They get some fire from over here, so there's probably some cruisers in this direction, possibly destroyers. I don't remember if they have any destroyers in this group or not. What's this? Yeah, I don't think that's a destroyer. I think that's a torpedo boat. Nope, we don't need to get that close. Okay. Let's get turned and get as many 2.9s to bear as we possibly can. Jules Ferry is almost certain to eventually take a pretty good pop here. I got a little closer than I wanted. Go ahead and slow. So let's get as much accuracy as we can, land as many of these 2.9 caliber shots as possible. Yeah, we got a lot of fires going here now. Our forward tower is taken out. Our forward funnel is taken out. That's going to impact our accuracy as well. Down to 63% structure. reorient the line kind of back over in this direction. Down to 39% structure. She's taking some flooding now, too. She's just about dead in the water, making 3.1 knots, propulsion damage, rudder damage, and she's gone. Burned up. There you go. 2.9 HE for the win. Oh, we got that torpedo boat, too. Okay, what do we have left? Looks like that's it. Not seeing any unspotted... You know what? You know what? Off. Stop. Stop. Stop firing it. Ah, crap. I was hoping maybe we could just, like, roll past the damaged torpedo boat and go sink a bunch of transports as well. I think there were only 6, though. That's okay. All right, nice job, too. Tonnant, Jules Ferry, and Marseille. As the lead... No, actually, it was Marseille that did the most damage. And did quite a bit with 6.9s. Yeah, all 3 cruisers had a huge chunk of their damage coming from their main armament in addition to the 2.9s. Some of that probably due to the fact that for at least some period of the battle, the 2.9s were out of range. Okay, we've got a convoy defense here. And we've got 4 of our very recently refit Triomphants. With the upgraded mount mechanisms and coincidence rangefinders. And a light cruiser as well, one of our Lamont Piquets. 2 cruisers and a destroyer. This heavy cruiser, though, at 5,000 tons, that's probably a pretty old cruiser. And same with this light cruiser. I think these are like 1890s types here. The top target is actually this destroyer. This is the variant, the Amianto class, that's got 5 deck launchers. So as soon as this ship is spotted, the Ruggiero Settimo, that thing needs to die. Let's hop in. Okay, I've dropped X5. We've been spotted. There we go. Primarily relying on these destroyers. The Montpiquet is back there quite a ways. She's significantly slower. Cruiser here. Cruiser here. And we can see that smoke back there. There's the destroyer. His mounts are still turning awfully slow. Okay, light cruiser down. Claudio Druso. Let's head back over this way. Pick up that armored cruiser, heavy cruiser. Guns on the DD. Let's put torpedoes. Diane. Save mode. Fish away. Apparently Fanfare is no longer the division leader. Oh. Well, I think we just keep going straight here. As fast as we can go. But, Fanfare, let's go ahead and attach her. Ship's doing all the way back here. Is it? I think that's because of torpedo avoidance. Speaking of which, I think there's a torpedo right there. Slow to cruise. Okay, so we ate a torpedo with one of our destroyers. She'll be fine, though, after some repairs. Fanfare delivered 9,500, most of which was torpedo. And Carabinier, 5,600. Fanfare actually not that bad. Light damage for 1 month. And that leaves this convoy battle, which I think we'll fight in the next episode. Which means that'll do it for this episode. If you like what we're doing with the channel, then leave a like, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe. If you'd like to catch other episodes of the series that you may not have seen, I'm linking the playlist here. At any rate, thank you very, very much for watching. I appreciate it.